Hi everyone, welcome back. And in this video, I'll be giving you some information on value proposition canvas. So, this is something that every product owner and a business analyst, or even if you're an entrepreneur and you're just trying to build a product or a solution, this is something that you should know. So, all product owners, business analysts, or anyone who's an owner of an application or a service, they might have come across a situation where they really had to justify to their end users or their customers as to why this particular product needs to be bought by them. Why is it so worth it, for their money? Why is it really necessary? And how is it going to solve their, problems? So, this point of this part of justifying and convincing is really a hot seat. Okay, it's not easy convincing and justifying this. So this value proposition is a tool, okay, that helps you to leverage and helps you to validate and justify with your customers as to why a particular product or service is really worth and necessary. So let's get to see what is this value proposition canvas in detail. So before we get into that, the current scenario is that every company builds products with, or it can be products or services. Companies build that with, the idea and objective that it's going to solve and help end users to solve a particular problem. It's going to help them to achieve a particular goal. It's going to, relieve them of certain pains that they are facing. So with this idea, companies keep, developing products and services continuously in the market every day. So the real situation, the saddest part is that almost 6 out of 10 products fail, which means that the customers are not finding products that are being launched really helpful. They're not finding it to be useful. They don't find that these products are actually relieving them of their pains. They don't find that by using this product it's actually helping them to speed up a process or is easing out their process. So with this, products fail and only 4 out of 10 products become successful. So when companies, the facing this situation, it's really hard, okay, for companies to justify to their customers as to why a particular product or their service is important. Why is it really worth it? How is it going to, relieve them of their pains, and how is it going to help them to ease out their process or to perform a certain task? So that's where this value proposition canvas comes in handy. So, a value proposition canvas is a visualization tool that helps businesses to test and validate if their product or service delivers value to customers and how it can help the customer solve their needs. So customers come in with a large set of needs. They come in with, their own pains. They come in with their own expectations. So how do companies actually justify and convince them that, a particular product or service is going to be really useful and helpful for them? Okay, so you cannot give them a large explanation. You cannot give them documents. You cannot explain to them logics of your system and then convince them. They need something that is really simple, really realistic, and really something clear to understand. Okay, so that's where this value proposition canvas comes in. So, a good value proposition canvas needs to be clear and self explanatory and also needs to convey to the customers how the particular product or service will solve their problems comparing other competitors. Okay, so this is really simple. All you have to do is just convince them saying that tell me your problems and I'll tell you how my particular product or solution will be able to relieve you of whatever pains you're facing or help you ease out the processes that you find to be a little manual or tedious. Okay, so with this said, why really build a value proposition canvas? Okay, so, as I said, a value proposition canvas will help to convince and justify to stakeholders, investors, and customers that a product or service can be helpful to solve their tasks or pains. Okay, so this is used to justify and to convince the end users. So, it can be your stakeholders, investors, customers, anyone. Okay, so if the value proposition is going to be really weak or it's going to be unconvincing, then there's a possibility that it's difficult to attract investors. It's difficult to even convince the end user to buy your product or your service. Okay? So going on to the parts of a value proposition canvas, there are two parts. The first one is the product profile and the second one is the customer profile. So if you see in the product profile, there are three sections. Okay, the first section is the product or the service description. Okay, so over here you can list down what is your product or your service, and then you have the pain relievers. Okay, so the pain relievers are the ones that the features or the modules that are going to ease out the pains of the customers, and you have the gain creators that are going to enable the customer to achieve their gain. Okay, something that they want or they really expect out of your product or service. So the second part is the customer profile. So customers come in with their daily tasks, they have certain jobs to do. So that's the first section in your customer profile. The second one is, given that tasks and jobs that they have to do, they have certain pains. Okay, which is why they are seeking for some solution. So this is the part where all the pains get listed down, and you have the third part, which is gains. Of course, they need something, they are expecting something, they wish to gain something out of a solution or out of a product or service. So that's the third part of the customer profile. So now with this, let's take an example of an online delivery app and see how to construct and build this value proposition canvas. So first, let's imagine that you have a online delivery application. Okay, and now you're trying to pitch to a customer or a stakeholder as to why this is really important and how this is going to really ease out their day-to-day tasks, and it's going to relieve them of if they have any pains, and how it's going to help them to gain something. So when you interact with this user, you come to know that their daily jobs that they have to do is to go to the store and then they have to buy food. Okay, this is something that they have to do. And if you see the pins, they say that there's sometimes there's really no time, and there's no time, and then after doing your daily work, you feel so tired and exhausted, and then the store is all the more far. Sometimes the stores are closed, you have to go to another store to purchase the particular item you're looking for, and then that leads to a lot of travel time. So there's a lot of pains that this customer is facing. Okay, and the gains, customer, what they want to gain is actually they want to save time and energy, and they should be able to just purchase food. Okay, but saving time and energy. So given this customer's profile, okay, now when I say a customer, it needn't be just one customer. It can be a collection, it can be a segment of users, it can be a group of users. Okay, so for an online delivery app, let's say that this online delivery, for example, you have Swiggy, you have Zomato, etc. So before this can come in, and if they were supposed to pitch to an audience as to why this is really useful, then you can take this use case. So this was the profile and the group and segment of customers, like they wanted to target, and this was their customers profile. So now, in order to justify how this their product, the online delivery application, is going to be really useful to them, it's going to relieve them of the pains and help them to gain something out of this, is where the product profile comes into picture. So now let's say you have a new online delivery application, which is like, for example, Quick App. Okay, it's made up. So now this Quick App has some features such as an online catalog of items, and then you have the feature to add to a cart, and then you have the feature of online delivery and so on. Okay, but I've just listed these few items over here. And this next part of this product profile is a pain relievers. So now these guys need to actually justify how are they going to relieve the customer of their pains. It's more like giving them a medicine, giving them a tablet for their pains. So if you see, in order to solve, in order to relieve them of the pain they have, saying no time, tired, stores really far, and travel, they brought in these pain relievers, which is order from anywhere, order anytime, and direct delivery. So you order from anywhere, and this way you just don't have to go to the store. The store might be somewhere far, but you can still order from that store without going. Okay, you can be in some point, you can be in some location, and you can order from there. So order anywhere, order anytime. Okay, so you can even be doing some work, and then you can just place an order. So it doesn't mean that you have to come back after your day-to-day job and then you have to go to the store. So you can even save time. Okay, so that solves that pain area. And then anytime, so you can since you're doing it online, you don't get tired of that. And also, since everything is going to be like, direct delivery, it saves you of traveling. So the third section is gain creators. The gain creators is something that helps them to achieve the gains, which is something that's going to help them to save time and energy. So what is going to be the gain creators is that the online service. So just by providing this online service is going to enable them to actually achieve that gain. And also multiple integrations. So you have integrations with online payment softwares, you have these payment gateways, and then you have integrations with number of restaurants and hotels. So with this type of integrations also, you're helping them to gain, save time and save energy and order anytime. So that's how these gain creators help them to achieve gains. So in the end, if you see, all these pain relievers are actually being applied in order to ease out the pains of the customers, as well as these gain creators are leveraging the customers to achieve their gains. Okay, so that's how you put down this value proposition canvas, and you show the customers, the stakeholders, in detail as to how this your product or service is going to be beneficial for them. So this is something about value proposition canvas. I hope it was helpful for you, and if you found this useful, please do give this a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe, and also do share your feedbacks. Thank you.